When the Dartmouth Big Green football team kicks off its season next month, the players will have new insights from a pair of additions to their training camp.
Good job, good job, good job.
Callie Brownson and Chanel Tillman-Brooks are coaching interns for Dartmouth's 2-week preseason.
Being here just validates what I already know, and then just puts more into my belt for the stuff that I don't know.
While women have made real strides in youth football in recent years, they're still quite rare on coaching staffs at the college and professional levels, and internships like this could start to turn that around.
If you know football, you know football.
Brownson and Tillman-Brooks both have experience in women's football leagues and have coached boys' high school teams in Virginia and Texas.
Anytime there's football involved, it's a good day.
They're hoping to gain extra knowledge at Dartmouth, preparing them to reach higher in the sport.
Do you envision a time when women aren't so rare in the world of football?
Yeah, I hope we get there pretty soon. And I think that's what we're working towards. You know, I think it's really about normalizing the culture and eventually not having it be newsworthy.
NCAA rules on the size of coaching staffs do put some limits on what the women can do with the squad while on the field, but they still have a lot of responsibilities, including organizing drills and breaking down game film.
I think it's great that they're getting experience from us, but we're also getting a lot out of them too, so it's really a win-win.
Nice.
The program was the idea of Dartmouth coach Buddy Tevens, who met the women at a clinic on passing techniques. He's already been seen as an innovator in football in terms of reducing concussions by eliminating tackling at practices.
I think other people can do the same, and the women coming up here, I'm hoping they can take some of this back and maybe take some hits off kids that might not do so otherwise.
And Coach Tevens said he'd like to see female interns become a fixture of his program. He'd also like to see other colleges do this, saying it would only strengthen the future of the sport. In Hanover, I'm Jack Thurston, NBC5 News.
I had a women's camp that we ran at the Manning Passing Academy this year, and I had 16 female coaches. Our thought was, hey, if we're going to have a camp for girls and young women, let's have women instructing. Callie Brownson was one of them. I asked all the coaches to submit a practice protocol, practice plan, and hers was the most thorough, the most meticulous. She obviously put an awful lot of time and effort and thought into it. Very confident with what she was doing. She was a good instructor, communicated very, very effectively, obviously was an athlete as well. So when I got back from the camp, I thought a little bit, what if we had an internship program up here at Dartmouth? And the two people that had contacted me at the camp, I talked to all the coaches, but Callie and Soho Tillman-Brooks responded. I checked with the institution. They were very, very supportive, so we brought the two of them up. And Soho Brooks she is a head coach and had a plan to learn, pick up as much as she could and go back. Callie straight out said she wants to coach football at the college professional level. And she was as good as anybody I've had in terms of her skill set, her preparedness, her attention to detail, her passion. The thing that really struck me about her was the response my players had. Players were coming to me after the first 3 or 4 days and saying, hey, Coach, would you ever consider hiring Callie? My coaches, they same thing. They said, man, she is right on it. Technically, and the game, social media, and computer input, and all that type of thing is huge. It took her 30 seconds to learn some of the apps and some of the installs that we needed. And then just her energy. Always, she's a forward-thinking individual, very broad-minded. It's an entry-level position. A lot of the guys I've had come in, I mean, they're just not aware enough. And she was spot on. And so looking at it, we had an opening, 2-week tryout, if you will, and she passed with flying colors. And when I announced it to the team, it was fun to see. I think it was emotional for her, and it was fun for me just to see how the guys, I mean, they're up, banging the table, chanting, and everything else. And
This has been an incredible experience, and I'm leaving here a better coach thanks to everybody in this room, and I'm really fortunate for that. So thank you guys very much.
Callie came in, again, energy and so forth, and her agenda was a little bit different. She'd like to get into the coaching world and on the field. And I've been very, very impressed. So impressed with her that I'd like to offer her a position with us this year. So she had a tremendous impact on them, and that was my hope across the board. Like what I saw was what she presented. My guys responded to that. My players responded to that, and maybe a different perspective. She's a coach who happens to be a female,
And that distinction, I think, became very, very apparent to my players and my coaches. We hired a coach that will better our football program, and I'm happy for her and I'm happy for Dartmouth.